Surprise, surprise, the Labour Party are pushing for Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe to become a socialist politician, a Labour politician. That's the new agenda. I'm so shocked. I did not see this coming. It's the most obvious, predictable story ever. But it shows the dark side of our society, the hypocrisy of the idiots on the left who keep pretending to have the moral high ground on things to not politicize issues, yet every single time when they have an opportunity, they politicize issues. Up to a point where, ever since she's come back, and despite, and I've said it so many times, despite personal trauma and everything else, because I understand, and obviously my mother was a political refugee, a legitimate political refugee from Iran. I experienced, the oppression and hardship as a child in Iran. I understand, right? But having said that, that press conference was our moment as a country to unite citizens and the government to show united front against the Iranian regime. When she attacked the foreign secretary in this country and the government, and then her husband disagreed with her. Her husband, Richard, was actually very sensible. Well, the Iranian government are sitting in Iran, in Tehran, laughing in our faces, saying, look at them. They're already fighting against each other. And I'm not surprised that the people who said, including Nazanin, well, I don't really want to thank the foreign secretary, and people said, well, why is Liz Truss going to the airport to welcome her and all that? Because politicians shouldn't get involved. Is that normal? Taking Nazanin with Starmer and Labour politicians, all the MPs, to the parliamentary terrace, House of Parliament, take pictures, PR stunt and all that nonsense, and then push for her to become a Labour politician. Also, really, peerage, House of Lords, for her to sit there. How much do they pay them? £300, £600 a day to just sit there and take a nap on taxpayers' money? No, she's not entitled to anything. Just like how I'm not entitled to anything, you're not entitled to anything. Nobody is entitled to anything randomly. Like, who is she to suddenly become some sort of superhero? A lot of people go through hardship. A lot of people are still have been kidnapped and they're still stuck in Iran and other countries. And a lot of them have been freed and they're back to their normal lives. We do not create a worship culture. This is the problem we have. It's nothing against her personally, right? But also, there is this point that some people made as well. It's not really allegation, but when you are, in a country like Iran for years, even though you were obviously kidnapped, you could be compromised in terms of national security. Don't randomly give her access to the government, to the state, the Westminster bubble. So that's just something that a lot of people also said. I'm just reporting this. Some people were saying that, well, what if she's compromised? All that. And what if it's a bad idea to give her full access to Westminster and Parliament? So there's a lot of issues to discuss around this. But my main target is the Labour Party, the hypocrites who are now taking advantage of her and politicizing her for their own agenda. We're going to come back with more news on my TC, and we are the media.